Hello, my name is Danilo Martinez, and I am going to be talking about Robert Bella and his counterbalance theory between individual freedom and biblical Republican emphasis on the community, the common good, micro and macro level secularization, and self interest affecting the religious beliefs. First of all, Robert Bella has a great point when it comes to the counterbalance being faded. And what I think he means is that religion is not making the same impact to younger generations as it should be or it has been in the past. I believe that this is a result of society creating new ways to raise children, supporting the children's ideas and not really allowing them to become self motivated, and that's also because of the lack of religious education. That being said, in my opinion, school is the way that kids really go in order to avoid trouble and crime at a certain age. So when schools are not allowed to teach the kids about religion, it just becomes one of their last factors that is really important in their lives. Such as right now, at the age of 25, I'm barely taking one of my first religious courses that is strictly around religion. And that's not really the way it should be, but that's just the way it is. Um, I remember when I was in elementary, one of my teachers would stay away from that topic. And that's because she didn't want to confuse kids from their parents' beliefs, and that's fine. But that is what this society is really lacking, the support of religious emphasis. People need to know more about it at a certain age while they're learning all types of things. It should be one of the school's main topics to be discussed, and maybe even one of the subjects or a class that should be just specifically about religion. But then again, it does make conflict with curriculum and all that. In the text, Bella states that he does believe in God, but is just not a religious fanatic. And that was at the time that religion was probably, if not the main factor around town. He also says that religion carries him only so far, and the little voice in his head basically just leads him to where he ended up. His destination was all in his head, and religion only played so much in his life. Nowadays there are many people that are labeled as God in a person's life, and especially if their values and morals have not been distinctly set or acknowledged. Mainly, if a person is just into a certain sport, such as basketball back in the day or nowadays, Michael Jordan or LeBron James is their main idol, and they want to be just like them. And God, Jesus Christ, or many other religious symbols are really, really just forgotten and not taken into consideration anymore. That is just one of the factors that has become a problem in today's generation. Therefore, the common good has now become extinct, mainly because of these factors that I say that has been, extincting the main topic of religion. And in my opinion, the common good has become the common normal. The reason I say this is because, first of all, obviously religion is losing its value. Second of all, becoming normal is just like it's becoming normal to get a tattoo. It's becoming normal to have sex at a young age, and normal to do drugs in middle school and high school, behind their parents' back and so on. Just because it's normal does not mean it's good. And the common good has devalued tremendously, and therefore the counterbalance has completely been lopsided. And finally, this is a reason why Americans are engrossed in a truly radical point of view when it comes to individualism. And the percentage of people that lack true traditional religion is way higher than 50%. You know, there are only a handful of people right now that I can say that are really, really religious and really carry the true religion, the true core of religion, doing the right thing and avoiding all types of sins. I can't say that everybody in my life has really, really followed the Bible. And, that's the problem now in today's generation and society, because a lot of people want to go to heaven and, avoid all kind of evils and all that. But it's kind of hard when the evils have now manipulated the normal, I'd rather say. The normal has really become bad. When it comes to the micro and macro levels being secularized, I will say yes, I do agree. It would cause tensions and strains, mainly because the whole country, for instance, would be going through this change while one stays in a disbelief or believing in a neighborhood, parish, or something in a way that everybody else doesn't. It shouldn't really matter what other people think or what they believe when it comes to religion, but that's what society has allowed for the most people to become followers and continuing these irrelevant trends that are no longer a use in a daily basis. You don't need to be wearing, Nike every day, but society makes you believe that this is the way to go. And because that, there is a tension between, the country and certain cities that really just value religion. Some little communities are all about religion and they revolve the whole town or the whole municipal around that religion. The Walmarts even have mostly religious things for sale, or for the most part in the front sections and all that. But when a town is one of those mainstream towns, they know what to put in the front for these kids that are following trends. It's not expected to create tension right away, but as a country, as a macro level, does change and develop new traditions and trends for the most part, the micro level will feel left out and feel obligated to do what is right for the moment. The best things to do when these types of things occur is just do whatever you think is right when it comes to religion, because there's not one religion that is proven to be the correct one. First of all, the first religion that was probably created is Hinduism, and not everybody in the world believes in it. That being said, religion has been modified so much that macro and micro level secularization will not horribly impact people any rougher than it has been lately. But accordingly, it will create confusions, tensions, and maybe other troubles that we are not aware about at the moment. Self-interest have a way to manipulate a person and the way to think that we think for the most part. If a person is into sports, let's say like I mentioned earlier, such as basketball, they are only interested in the topics that revolve around that one sport. Other than that, the main focus, such as religion, can be thrown aside, saved for later, or maybe even forgotten because of the lack of interest that a person created for it. This is all because of society and, technology for the most part has evolved, and the social media has really, really taken over a person's life. Everything's all about going towards one way because that's the way people are already going. And people forgot the way that was created in order to succeed or become a great person. Just because you get 100 likes, in a minute doesn't mean that you're living life the correct way. You know what I'm trying to say? That's my argument in this case. Yes, I do believe that religious beliefs have to be emphasized in a person's childhood in order to be best effective. Other interests do have the capability to actually blind us from the truth, and that may not be even close to knowing what religion is about. you know, when you set your life around math or science or one of these subjects that is taught at an early age, that does not mean that it's gonna save you from anything. You know, not even religion at a point, but religion does set you in this state of mind that, you know, that really, really makes you think and act appropriately. You know, most people act like other people that they want to become, and that is when really the true impact of these self-interests do play in its part. Um, you know, when people rather be Tony Montana instead of Jesus Christ, that's when it really does play its part. And that's what society has come to, for unfortunately, and there's nothing really that we can do about it but just spread the love of God if you really want to be in the great state of mind of religion. Thank you for your time.